Here's Paddy's latest offer. It's 2 up, you win. We'll pay out immediately if the team you back goes 2 goals up. Available in all Premier League and La Liga matches. Not available in shops. T&Cs apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Bruce Millington, Dan Childs, Henry Hardwick and Paddy Powers, Adrian Croak are previewing 2 live Sunday Premier League televised games at 1:30. Sunderland versus Manchester United. United undefeated in their last 20 Premier League games. Sunderland have failed to score in their last 6. Another short price weekend jolly, Adrian, I presume.
It is indeed. So Sunderland here 17-2, the draw is 15-4, and we can have Man United at 4-11.
4-11. Does that float your boat, Dan?
No, not particularly. I mean, a lot of those games have been draws against poor sides. I mean, probably better sides than Sunderland, but no. I was looking at an angle here, and I'm looking at Jermaine Defoe. An obvious one it might seem as first scorer, but he's 8-1 to score the first goal. He doesn't just do it against the poorest sides. He scored against Manchester City, Arsenal, and Liverpool this season. Man United might now be looking to the Europa League, I think, after that. Drop points against Everton now.
Presume they play on the following Thursday.
They've got to play, Anderlecht away next Thursday. I mean, there's a decent enough gap between the games, but mentally, I think they'll be looking at the Europa League now as their best chance by far of getting into the Champions League. And Sunderland, really in a nothing to lose situation now. They've just got to try and win games. I don't think they will necessarily win the game, but Defoe to score first is always a strong runner. One little part about Sunderland as well might improve them. Catamol came back, who's a key player for Sunderland in what he does. If you look over the years, they've often done better with him in the side, and they did show quite a bit of resistance against Leicester. His first start back, they took a bit of breaking down. So
what's happened to Duncan Watmore?
Injured long term.
I thought he was a nice player. I thought he was a good little
very
prospect.
Unlucky with injuries, and Eacherby, was starting to look good when he played the game at Bournemouth. Had a fantastic game. Played his part in the win there. He's hardly been seen since as well. But although he did play again in the midweek game, he come back. So they've got a few important players coming back.
Okay, Henry, do you think Sunderland will get a good slapping?
I don't actually. No, I think
a good slapping. Sunderland. Right, go on.
I like first goal after the 27th minute. This would have copped in 22 of Sunderland's 30 league games this season. And that includes their home games against City, Chelsea and Spurs. So it's not like, and at Anfield, so it's not like just they've been doing it against the lesser sides. But a little bit of concern is their position in the league and whether the motivation is going to be that high. But I don't really see much to suggest that United should be 4-11 shots here. And perhaps that has influenced the market given that they're such short price favourites. The goal is expected to go in. It's worth remembering United have scored the fewest away goals in the top 6 of the Premier League this season. And only 2 of their last 16 games have they scored before Paddy Power's line for this match. So I think it could take a while for a goal to come in the game, and that looks it's odds against, I think. So that looks a good bet to me.
That sounds like a very well argued point there, Henry. Adrian, what's the view from you on this match?
Yeah, I'm looking at the unders here. You can get under 2.5 goal at even money here at the moment. It's 2 teams that don't really score goals, both heavily reliant on one player. The even money kind of for the under seems decent price to me.
Do you know what? Sometimes when we do these postcards, I sit here and nod politely and think, blimey, that's a crap tip. Oh, I can't have that. But you're all making tremendous sense today. Very, very good. 4 o'clock, Everton versus Leicester. Everton have won their last 6 home matches. Leicester have won their last 5 matches since I still think it was scandalous sacking of Ranieri just because of what he did last season. But I suppose the logic of the decision is vindicated with each passing week. Leicester have obviously got Atletico Madrid in the Champions League on Wednesday. So will they be easing off a little bit? Will the Leicester revival stop here?
That's the big worry. I mean, I'm going to go for a lay of Everton, Leicester or the draw at 11-10. But the big worry is the Champions League match coming up. I mean, I think the holes, it's strange to say with Leicester winning 5 in a row, but they still might need another couple of points just to make sure that they're safe because of the way that Hull have been playing recently. So I think maybe they will still be focused for this game. And Everton, they've got so many injuries at the moment, especially at the back. Coleman, Funes Mori, Ashley Williams got sent off in the end of the game, and he was such a key part of them resisting there against Man United for so long. Williams. So,
it looks like a League Cup side they're putting out, doesn't it? All the kids.
I mean, probably Pennington's probably going to come into the side. I mean, he got ripped apart by Liverpool, didn't he, in the Merseyside derby, was dropped at Man United. He'll probably have to come back into the side. The midfield, again, as well, I'm not so sure about at the moment. McCarthy's injured again, as he often is. Schneiderlin didn't play at Man United. Will he be ready? If he's not, the midfield's going to be under
strength. So it's the Hippie and Gay, is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad combination, but I think Barry played, didn't he? At Manchester
Barry
United?
was it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I'm not. I think Barry is one. He was always been a bit one pace, but I think he struggles energy-wise these days. So I just think Leicester, if they're focused, will have a good chance here. And don't forget they won there in the FA Cup third round this season as well, when they were playing nowhere near as well. They won 2-1 at Everton.
Righty-ho. Henry, what's your view on this one?
Yeah, I really like Leicester here. There's been a bit of money for them, but I still think there's a bit of juice in the price. As Dan said, the defensive misses, Coleman, Williams, Phineas Murray, and obviously Schneiderlin's 50-50 wherever he plays. I think that leave a big hole at the back. And, I don't really like backing teams that, mainly to get their big results when they can hit teams on the break. They're probably not going to be able to do this against Leicester. And because they're going to be weaker at the back, there's a good chance Leicester can do that against them. Vardy's obviously scored 5 and 6. He's flying. Obviously, the slight concern is that Leicester might have their eye on the Champions League game. But as Dan's already said, they're not totally safe. So, they'll be looking to get a win here, wrap that up, and then they can focus solely on the Champions League. So, yeah, I think Leicester look a really, really decent bet.
Okay, what are the match prices here, Adrian?
So you've got Everton here at 7-10. The draw is 14-5, and you can back Leicester 4-1.
4-1. What will you be doing, Adrian?
Yeah, I'd kind of be with the guys on Leicester here. I think the price is already in there for Leicester playing a weakened squad with their eye on the Champions League. So you're probably better off taking the gamble that they actually play their full strength squad and they're not going to go off 4-1 if they're going to win.
Okay, right. I disagree with everything you just said. You've totally blown your copybook, lads. I think Everton will win. We've got a Monday night, tasty morsel as well. 8 o'clock. Palace versus Arsenal. I've got to say this, by the way. This is one of the most unfortunate clashes in TV history because I've got my beloved Palace at home to Arsenal, vital relegation game for us. But it's also the University Challenge Fund. Have you watched any of University Challenge this year? There's a guy called Eric Monkman. Honestly, you've got to see him. He's absolutely unbelievable. And the team they're playing have got a guy called Goldman. So it's Goldman v Monkman. I promise you, it's an epic battle. But I'm going to have to record that because I think Palace Arsenal has got to take precedence. I guess Arsenal are pretty short favourites, aren't they, Adrian?
They're 3-4 here. The draw is 27-10 and Palace are 15-4.
We'll stick with you for the tip then, Adrian. What's going to happen?
I think the prices are about right here. These are the kind of games Arsenal really do it in. The only thing is, Big Sam he always does like playing Arsenal from what I remember from his Bolton days anyway. Might just be a bit of bias there from a few good results, but yeah, I think the prices are about right. Maybe
no bet.
If I'm taking Atten, I'd look for Palace +1 here at 10-11.
Okie doke. What do you think, Dan?
Before the last night's games, I was thinking Palace, maybe even to nick a win here. I just think they lost Kabay, didn't they, to an injury during the game.
We're really struggling. Centre midfield, we've got major problems.
Tompkins and Dan as well. So they've just got a few issues there. And still, you look at overall at the game at Southampton. Southampton are a good side. They were 1-1 with a few minutes to go, and I think the effort they put in as well at Chelsea, maybe they paid the price for that towards the end there. So I wouldn't be too harsh on them performance-wise there. They've got with the game being on the Monday, they've got an extra couple of days to recover. So
and before then, Dan, they'd pretty much been playing one game a fortnight.
Exactly. So it's just getting into the rhythm really of having the games coming thick and fast again. I mean, on the Arsenal side, they were a lot better against West Ham. They kind of stopped the rot with a Man City game. It wasn't a great game, really, to watch, but stopping the rot was crucial, and they've then turned it on against West Ham. Ozil, looks interesting again, put on a brilliant assist for one of the goals against West Ham. So they're looking more of a threat, but I just think the price is too short in what is a tough game still at Palace. And I was looking at the Palace score, the two key men there. Benteke is going to cause problems for the Arsenal centre-backs, minus Koscielny. He's Mustafi, I'm never convinced about him against a physical centre-back. Watching him against Vokes, I remember watching the Burnley game. Other times when he's been up against a physical centre-forward, he struggles. But I'm looking at the pricings, and Zaha you can't look beyond Zaha. He's the man. I know you're going to agree with me on this, but he is the man at the moment.
Well said, he is the man.
And he's looking a real goal threat now.
And he's virtually playing up front as well.
Exactly, and he's 10-1 to score the first goal, crazy. So it's just too big as a first goal.
Good, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Henry, what do you think? It's me v you here, isn't it?
Yeah. I really fancy Arsenal. I mean, unfortunately, Paddy Power are the shortest price in the village, but from what I've read, Palace are going to be without Van Aanholt, Dan, Tompkins, Suarez, Kabay, MacArthur. And I think that defensively, that's too much of a burden for them to bear. And I also think that perhaps Sam Allardyce is quite adept to this. He won't have skipped his mind that the game against Leicester next week comes between their Champions League tie. So he probably will be targeting at, given that they've still got to play Liverpool, Spurs, City, and United. So I think perhaps it's possible that they will be putting their resources into the Leicester game rather than this game. I mean, I'm not saying that you know, at the end of the day, they haven't really got that many resources, got so many injuries anyway. And I think that, you know, this is the type of game that Arsenal do really well in. I mean, they've got a really good recent record against Palace, won 6 of the last 7. And I don't really see this as a potential banana skin.
Righty-ho. OK, we'll have a quick look at the Champions League, which resumes next week. It's the quarterfinals, of course. Tuesday, we've got Borussia Dortmund versus Monaco, which the goal line will probably be about over under 7.5. Juve v Barcelona, what a game that's going to be. And then on Wednesday, Atletico versus Leicester and Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. So some fantastic stuff there. Give us a quick bet each for the midweek Champions League.
Well, I've got sort of 2 looking at the to qualify price. I thought Juventus 13-8 against Barca. I see this as a very even tie. Barca against PSG, really the ref I thought helped them get over the line towards the end of that tie. I just think Juventus are a stronger team than PSG in all departments, really, and I think they've got a good chance of getting through. And the other one, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, I'd have that as a very even tie. I think Real Madrid are more used, though, to playing big games, having to play Seville, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona on a domestic basis. Bayern I think having to play such a big side, big game when they're used to winning so easily in Germany is a problem. And Real Madrid, shade of odds against the qualifier, looks big to me.
Righty-ho, Henry, what do you like?
I like Juventus to win the home game, yeah. Juventus unbeaten at 22 in the home this season. And you look at the 2 big games that Barca have played away from home. Against Man City, they were brushed aside 3-1 quite easily. And PSG, obviously, they were spanked 4-0. I think it's obviously a big advantage for Juventus to play at home the first leg, so they're not chasing the game. And yeah, I don't see the prices look for Juventus win look quite juicy to me.
OK, Adrian, which is your fancy?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Juventus as well here. I have them in the outright, and I think, at home, 13-8 seems a decent price against Barcelona.
Everyone's absolutely massive for it. Now, just quickly, Adrian, before we go, just tell me what the over-under 2.5 is on Borussia Dortmund versus Monaco while you're trying to find those prices. I mean, Dan, that could be absolutely... That's a basketball match, that, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Monaco have been so impressive. And you remember as well, in the City game, they did have they had Radamel Falcao, one of their main, probably their main striker, who was out injured as well. So they did it without him as well. Defensively, they might be a bit stronger. Kamil Glik, I think, who's their best centre back, was out for the City game, so that might just tighten them up a bit at the back.
Okay, I reckon you're going to be over 2.5 goals, 2-5.
On the button right there, 2-5, 7-40.
Promise you I hadn't looked. And in actual fact, that 2-5 doesn't sound bad value, does it? It could be absolutely anything. Okay, chaps, thank you very much indeed for your expertise. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, if you want the chance to win a £25 or €25 bet with Paddy Power, just tweet the name of Leicester City's quarter-final opponents in the Champions League using the hashtag Postcast, and then tune in next Thursday to find out if you've won. Don't forget to rate the Postcast and subscribe on iTunes. Thank you very much for listening.
Check out Paddy's new kicker feature. If you fancy your team to run riot, add a kicker to your bet. And if your team win big, you win bigger. Paddy Power, you beauty!